Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ladies Tale podcast. It feels so good to say it. Oh my goodness. Because the Ladies Tale podcast to me is like especially special. First of all, because I love the script. And then that started the Ladies Tale podcast. And then secondly, it's special because it means like I get to talk to someone that I want to talk to really, really, really bad and would never ever be able to talk to any other way. It makes me feel a little famous, ditch. And I'm not. But the feeling feels good. Like their star shines on me on the good side, only on the good side.
Only on the good side. Only on the good side.
Oh my goodness, I'm Wilnona, which I forgot to introduce myself. So yeah, I'm Wilnona. High five to me because I remembered. Yes. And I guess I'm gonna just go straight into the books because I don't think Mr. Snell wants to wait any longer.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm your guest. So you lead, I follow.
So we wrote literary life guides with pop poetry, and we do that. We say that because no one wants to hear that they're anthologies. Right, that's what happens every time you say that. Literary life guides with pop poetry, and they are. And I thought divorce was bad, and I thought being grown up was easy. If only I were me, a memoir and verse, widow's web, widow's debts, and foreign coffee. And yeah, the last three aren't like pop poetry; they're like straight up books, but. Still, it's cute to say literary life guides of pop poetry. You can find out the rest of the 17 books and everything that you ladies are up to at www.andithoughladies.com. But you're not here to hear about me, which is such a shame. Look at these lips. Look at this cheek line. And oh my goodness, look at this bang. You're here to hear about our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am. My name is Timothy Snell. I'm a celebrity fashion stylist as well as a creative director. I have been a fashion stylist for many, many years. I've had many opportunities. I've worked with some of the best talent in Hollywood, from Whitney Houston to Queen Latifah, Angela Bassett, and many, 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 many more, to name a few, to just name a few. And I'm here. I've had a TV show on the BET network, Curvy Style with Timothy Snell. I've had the chance to tour the world and dress some of the most remarkable bodies and have the most remarkable opportunities. And I'm here just to share my expertise, answer questions, and just have a conversation.
Oh, I'm going to have to ask a question about how to dress because I can't. I literally, if it were not for Jade, I would show up on the red carpet, any red carpet, anywhere, not even the good ones. I would show up in tennis shoes and some shorts.
Oh, tennis shoes are fashionable these days. Tennis shoes are being worn with a lot of different things. So you still be on point with that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You totally would be.
Okay. I was about to tell a story here, but it's about you and you're awesome. So I'm going to talk about you.
Oh, cool.
So, of course, I have to ask the question that every woman wants to know.
Uh-huh.
What is a must-have to have in your closet? What can you not live without?
I think there are a few things that a woman should have in her closet as a staple, and I think it's a good black dress. And I think that could be a day dress, or it could be a day to cocktail dress. I think she should also have a great pair of jeans, a great blazer. She should have a great go-to look, which could be a jumpsuit or a dress or something that's pretty, that can reflect something that you can wear with a sneaker or you can wear with a heel or something comfortable as that. And then also, I think a great crisp white shirt should be a part of a woman's closet, because you can be very versatile with a white shirt for a woman. A white shirt with a good collar, long sleeve, can be rolled up. You can put the shirt on backwards. You can tie it in the back. You can button it up the back. You can tie it in the front. You can wrap the shirt around you. And don't limit yourself to just doing a woman's shirt. You can go to the men's department and get a great man's shirt and wear it too, which will give you that oversized volume feel. You can wear it with a legging. You can wear it with a pair of leather pants, black leather pants. You could wear it with a pair of jeans. You can wear it with the skirt. You can wear it as a skirt if you get it big enough and long enough. You can wear it as the dress and wear a pair of boots with it, or booties or something. So those are my tops. I think that really you can build upon in your closet. Those would be your working pieces in your closet, kind of like your girls who are like your all-stars, your go-tos.
And if any of you in the audience are thinking, what, a men's shirt? I'm going to just tell you a quick story. I know you believe him because he's amazing, but I'm going to tell this quick story because my narcissism wouldn't let someone talk that long. Jade, one year, her junior year of high school, decided that she was just going to wear like men's shirts. And every combination you said there is what she did with men's shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And people by the end of the year, I think there was like every girl had at least one man's dress shirt in her closet.
It works.
Hey, that thing rock.
It works. I think that what's so important about clothing and about personal style and about dressing and about being, there's one thing there's a difference between a person who wears fashion and a person who has style. A person who wears fashion is a person who wears a label, but a person who wears style is more of a person who just wears what different labels that come together, different pieces or items that come to create their look. And I think when you think outside the box about fashion, that's when you develop your personal style.
How do you know if you're a person that has fashion or style?
I
That's
think,
a personal question because I want to know.
okay, this might seem a little cuckoo, but I judge it on who is complimenting me on what I wear. I look at the way they're dressed, how well they're put together. I've always told clients, look at who's complimenting you. If someone's complimenting you that has it together, that's on point, that is stylish from head to toe, and they're complimenting you about your outfit, they're basically saying, I would wear what you're wearing. So that makes me feel like that would be a compliment to me.
So I just learned something about myself. I have neither style nor fashion.
Ah,
Hopefully you can put that. We don't do segues on the show, so I'm gonna just jump to a whole new subject.
go ahead.
Hopefully you can go ahead and put this to rest for some people. Everyone says that a woman needs an outfit that she feels confident in. Mm-hmm. How important is confidence in your closet compared to actually having clothes that look good?
Well, confidence is key. I've seen some people that have dressed and not necessarily been dressed well, but their confidence exudes something that attracts you to them. Confidence is key. You have to be confident in what you're wearing and what you're putting on. It's really key to me that a person is comfortable and confident in what they're wearing. I think confidence it's interesting because you had sent me some questions prior to ask me about, and one of them was the three things that would create, I believe, a killer look for you, or something like that. And the first thing that came to mind for me was confidence. You have to be confident. You have to know that you look good, you feel good, you are good in what you're wearing.
Thank you so much for reminding me about the questions because I completely forgot. So now they're pulled up.
Oh.
Let's go through the questions. I'm so sorry.
Or any other way you want to do it, I'm cool with it. Sure.
I love just having a conversation. But question number one, how did you get started?
Well, I got started, I think, because I've always had the love of fashion, the love of well-dressed people, but especially well-dressed women. My mother was a well-dressed woman. My mother dressed very beautifully, not over the top, but she had excellent taste. She was I would call her the pearl wearing, kind of like the classic dress woman. See that picture right there from the 1970s at the San Francisco Museum? That's my mom and my little sister. We were having a family trip with my dad. We were going to see his family, his brother and his family. So I've always been around women who have dressed impeccably and who have had great style. And I think I know that I just always had a natural love for fashion. Going through school and high school and stuff, I did really well in high school with colors, with school and stuff like that. I did, believe it or not, have a hard time getting color when I was younger. I didn't see color right when I was younger, but that changed over the years, which is interesting to me. I'm fascinated by the story of it, how my mother told me I just had a hard time with color, and I remember it. But I went to design school in California. I studied design. And after I studied design, I graduated from design school with great grades, great honors and stuff like that. I won best of show and competitions, top show, best category, all of those accolades and different things like that. But when I got into the fashion business trying to find a job, I found it very difficult to get a job. My peers were getting jobs, but I wasn't. And I went through a really interesting self-doubt period about myself and my talent. And because nobody was hiring me, what I figured out was not at that time in the late 80s, early 90s, they didn't want to hire a big black man with green eyes and that was articulate and that was 6'4", 235 pounds to head up their fashion design department. They didn't understand. At first, they didn't understand how was I so talented? And first, second of all, where did you get green eyes from? And you're a black man and all these different things. And you're so smart about fashion because I had mentors in my head that I followed, like Andre Leon Talley and different people that I would look at and to be the mentor for me that I would look at. And it was challenging for me. It was so difficult. I struggled in such a way that it was very hurtful. It was very, very difficult. It was very difficult. Um, and I worked, and then I got a job in the design industry, and I started working. But I always worked as an assistant. I never got the key, and I was given ideas and stuff, and I was learning. What I was learning was, and I was designing for companies that we were doing major, huge product business for stores like Lane Bryant, Target, The Limited, doing programs for Macy's and stuff under their label and stuff like that. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm only going to give what I have to give. I'm not giving it all because I'm not getting the recognition. I remember there was one design item that I had did, and we sold it to Walmart, and I wasn't getting commission on it, but we sold 1 million units on one item. That's a lot. 1 million units. So after being in the business for a while and kind of getting disillusioned, I got out of the business. I went to work at a furniture store to make it real quick, a high-end furniture store just to pay my bills. And there was a girl working there. And she said, there's this new fashion magazine coming out for men of color called Code Magazine. And I was like, okay. So I never had any experience working for a fashion magazine. Never had any experience at all. But it was a magazine for men of color, a black magazine. And Larry Flint here in Los Angeles in Beverly Hills was doing the magazine. He hired this publication director by the name of Abby Britton. He brought all these people out from New York to start this magazine. I heard about it. I was persistent. I called every day. I got a meeting. And then the first thing I thought to myself was, I've never been a fashion director, fashion editor for a any magazine before. How can I sell myself? How can I make myself seem as if I'm the right person for this job? So I meditated on it and it came to me. Create storyboards of how you see the fashion well looking. So I went and got these big, gigantic boards and I created 8 storyboards. And I went to the books the book stand magazine stands where magazines were big back then, and I pulled a bunch of European magazines with men's fashion. I didn't concentrate so much on American fashion, and I did different categories from denim to evening to sportswear to fashion to avant-garde and whatever. And then I took them to Kinko's and I got them laminated for this high gloss effect so they would look really impressive. And I went into the meeting. I was very honest, and she hired me. And that's how I got started. Yeah, that's how I got started. And from there, I got a name for doing the fashion well with women when we do which we did Halle Berry, Tyra Banks, we did many other women. And I started getting calls from, people wanting to work with me. So I got an agent, and that's how it rolled into my career.
Okay, so how did you, okay, first of all, you already covered like 2 of my questions, and I thought we were doing the questions, so now it's less questions to ask you.
Okay.
We're already down to number 5. How did you know you truly had arrived at the top of your career?
I feel like I had arrived when I got Whitney Houston as a client. Because you have to understand, I, I believe that everything that is meant for you, and it's challenging at times to wait on it because I'm not a very patient person. I like things to happen. I like things to move. I like to move quickly and move efficiently and move with purpose and move with intention. And I got Whitney Houston as a client, and Whitney was the first concert that I had ever been to in my life. She was my first adult concert as a young adult at 18 or 19. What was it, like 19 or 20 or something like that? And I never would have ever thought that I would have gotten her as a client. And I was with her until she left this world, you know. So, and that was my gift, and it was my entree into private jets, 5-star traveling to, if you want to say 10-star traveling, um, all that type of cachet. And it was, I wish Instagram was around then, because the things that I saw and experienced and was exposed to would have been fascinating for others to see. I have it documented in photographs and stuff that I keep in a box, but to actually see it in real time would have been really exciting for a lot of people. For instance, I grew up on Elizabeth Street. Whitney's middle name was Elizabeth. I grew up at 421. Whitney's favorite number was 7. 421 equals 7. And there are other similarities like that that I found that kind of connected us in a way that was just kind of a godsend and a gift. So that was my first entree into my major big, because before then I was working with, you know, B-list and some A-list, but I was just doing editorial. I did a lot of editorial with Essence Magazine. The creative director at the time was Pamela Macklin, and the beauty director was Mickey Taylor, who everybody knows Mickey Taylor, Mickey Taylor from Essence Magazine. She had been there for 35 years. And so because of them, I got 15 covers with Essence. And who would have thought as a young boy that I would get 15 covers? I get to style 15 covers with Essence Magazine. And for some people, that may not mean much, but growing up with such a body of work that is there, that you just see laying on a coffee table, and that you get to put your imprint on it, which is your thumbprint on something that is so historical, is a big deal. You know, sometimes we don't take time to realize that every little thing is a big deal, but everything is a big deal because these are manifestations and these are dreams and these are things that happen that really do happen. So, you know, I did Code Magazine. When I did Code Magazine, I did Lenny Kravitz was one of our covers. Prince was one of our covers. Lawrence Fishburne. Oh God, just so many Black, really amazing men, that Jamie Foxx, that you can't even name. And then got to do Essence covers with all of these major people, and I've got to work with all these major stars and dress. I've done tons of CoverGirl commercials, Olay commercials, um, just all types of stuff. And then focusing on Curvy, which I found a niche for myself, because I said, you know what, I need to find a niche for myself because everybody is doing something around the regular average girl size. And I said, there are women out there that are beautifully styling curvy women and doing it well, but there are no men. There are no men of note. So I decided to go in that direction, which led me to, you know, tagging myself the man behind the curves. And a good friend of mine helped me to come up, named Pamela Macklin, who was at Essence, helped me to come up with that idea. And which led to the show that I pitched to BET, Curvy Style with Timothy Snell, which Queen Latifah was my executive producer for, because I felt like there was and there still is a big window open here for women that are a size 14 plus to know how to dress, where to find it, how to put it together. Designers finding designers that want to create for them, want to showcase them, get more of that product into the store. There is more product. I will say there's more product out there than there's ever been in a long time, and because you can buy online and you can do other things like that. But I just think that we need more of that. And someone with my experience and my voice, it was quite an honor to be able to have that opportunity. And we had one amazing season, and we got picked up for a second season. But sometimes when heads of networks change, things change. So having said all that, that brings me to where I am today, trying to get another TV show out there and trying to be positive and work in the way of being a champion, if you will, but just putting it out there where everybody can dress, creative direct, and just getting things out there for everyone to have a part of a fashion conversation, to be a part of the story, because that's how we really talk about ourselves without talking about ourselves by the way we dress.
So true. It is so true. I just wish that they would have thought about this earlier, so there would have been more curvy vintage clothes.
But you would find those curvy vintage clothes in the South, because you have to think about it. I was watching The World According to Andre Leon Talley, his documentary, because I was he's like, in my head, he was a mentor to me. And the one thing that he said, and I found to be very true in the 80s, the late 70s and 80s and stuff, when I would go to church and stuff like that with my mom and stuff, women and men, Black people dressed their best when they went to church because they didn't have to wear a uniform. They would go to church dressed at their Sunday best and dressed at their thing. That's why when you said vintage, the South would be the best place because there was curvy women all over the place wearing 1950 dresses and 60 dresses going to church and stuff. So I'm just saying, that's probably where you would find, if you Googled it, you would probably find vintage plus size clothing, 1950s, but you probably could find it, because I find when I want to find something out or do some research, I find for myself, if I Google, it's there.
I tell you, sir, I believe you have just changed my closet, which then, effectively changed your mood. Changes everything.
At least add it to the swag of your closet. We'll put it that way, by giving you some ideas.
Oh, I know we talked about this before, but I do have a dress, museum-worthy dress from 1802.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw it, and I mean, what the heck? You gotta have it.
And it was preserved too. That's pretty.
Yes, it was preserved. So the family had it, and then they loaned it to a museum, and then the person who loaned it to the museum passed away. Mm-hmm. And then the daughter was like, "You loved it so much in the pictures. Give me $70 and you can have it." So
that was very generous, and that's very nice. And you have a piece of history. And what is clothing but history? What is clothing but storytelling? Clothing is storytelling. It's telling a story about yourself. It really is.
So will there be a book? You think you'll ever write one day?
I would love to write a book. I do have some ideas about a book. I'm just, maybe somebody on this broadcast will hear it and know somebody, a publisher that would be interested in collaborating with me. I would love to write a book. I would love to put it out there. I have a lot to say. I have a lot of experience. And I have 2 books in me, one about me and being a big guy in my story and whatever. And then I want to do this really amazing makeover book for plus size women, the before and afters of it all is what I want to do. It's a book called The Before and Afters. And it's showcasing the woman in her real life, what she does, her story, and then showing her editorial spread as like an Annie Leibovitz would shoot, or Stephen Meisel would shoot, or someone of that notoriety would shoot a big, huge book, coffee table book of just great bodies with great style, curves with style. You know what, that type of thing is what I'm thinking. Yeah, got some ideas. I got a
Yeah,
lot of.
let me get off of this recording. I got somebody in mind.
Oh, yay. I'm
Me?
all open to new opportunities. I'm all open to new opportunities. I will say one thing. I love what I do. When I did the Queen Latifah talk show back in 2012, 13, it was on for a year and a half. She gave me a huge platform to talk about curvy fashion. She gave me a huge platform to go out there and just change the game. And I was able to do fashion presentations that were inclusive. And I coined and came up with this, which I've seen other people copy to date on Instagram and different things. And it's nice to be copied because, you know, it's the biggest flattery. I came up with this idea. Let me showcase a size 4, a model 2 or size 4, and let me showcase a 14 and a 16 wearing the same thing or close to the same thing, so they can mirror, and so people can actually see how you can wear the same thing, but it's how you proportion it to your body and how you swag it out.
I remember those.
Those, you know, I post them every now and then on my Instagram at Timothy Snell ONE, Timothy Snell ONE. You can follow me there. I post that sometimes because, you know what, I think for me, at this particular point in my career, in my mid 50s, what I'm seeing is, and I started in my 30s. What I see is, yeah, I'm there. Thank God, I'm holding. Thank God. I I seek I seek to make change. I seek to create opportunities, and I seek to be a part of a fashion game and a fashion trend. And I love consulting with brands, and I love. I don't know where it's going to finally the destination will be, but I love the idea of taking what everybody sees as being fashion and articulating and not downsizing it, keeping it on a level, but taking it out of that size 10, if you will, and accommodating it up to all the way up to a size 26 because it's important. And what the market doesn't understand sometimes, two things. Black women have a lot of money to spend, and they will spend it on fashion. If they want it, they will buy it. They have great jobs. They can afford it. And curvy women are looking for fashion. That's the other side of the coin. Women that are black and curvy, and the Latinos and a white woman are looking for things like that, and they will buy it. If you build it, they will come. That's what I do now.
Yes, I completely agree with this. Now, I remember my question from forever ago. So I'm going to ask if we can rewind.
Yes, go ahead.
You said that you got to pitch a show, and I'm always on every one of the Ladies Tale podcasts where someone says they got to pitch a show. I want to know how. How did you prepare? How did you get that yes?
Well, this was interesting. I have another show that I'm trying to pitch now, but for Curvy Style with Timothy Snell was not the original show that I wanted to do. I pitched another show. But an executive producer by the name of Ianthe Jones, who is a showrunner, came up with this idea with this other executive producer named Jill, who said we should do a show where we connect celebrity with regular person style for a red carpet moment for an event in their life, which I thought the concept was very interesting and very cool. And I thought, okay, that could be very cool because then I would do a celebrity in that episode, and then I would do a celebrity fan of some sorts or whatever that would get the makeover and get something out of it. So it was a platform that I went into pitch, and I said, listen, my pitches are like this. I see this as a void. I see this as what's coming down the road. I see that you are a network that your viewer would appreciate being celebrated in this way. And you have to go in, when you do a pitch, you have to go in with the hook. What is the thing that you're going to say to make them go, oh, I like that. It's called Curvy Style with Timothy Snell, from celebrity red carpet to real carpet to real life red carpet. You got to go on with a hook. You got to go on an idea of what you think, and then you have to go in with a one-pager pitch of how you would want your show to line up. What does your show look like? Is it colorful? Is it bright? How many episodes are you talking about? How many people are involved with your episodes? What are you talking about? How do you see sponsorship? How do you see us getting items given to us so other companies can benefit from it as well as you. So that's what you do when you kind of come up with a pitch idea in your head. You kind of think about, I work from I think I would encourage them, anybody, you could do it on a notebook, or you could either do it, I prefer a big board where I have different post-its that I keep at my desk, and I get different ideas, and each color means something different. And I just tag it and see where it goes. And then it helps you create a storyline, like an outline of how you would want something to do. And then you call up a network and you say, I have an idea. I would love, are you taking pictures? My name is so and so. And give them a little taste of it. Don't give it all away. Don't give it all away. Just give a little taste and see if you got some interest, because it doesn't hurt to call the network and say, I want to do a pitch. Who would I talk to about doing a pitch in this department? Blah, 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 blase, 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 blase. And then more than likely the person at the front desk will give you the information and possibly get the email, or the assistant will give you and just do an email. If we don't try, we don't know. Rejection is for us all, but success is also for us all. Just take a chance.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, that is the best picture writings I've heard.
Oh, thank you.
Take a chance. Just take a chance. That is just
take a chance. Take a chance. I know we all get discouraged, and I know we all go through highs and lows. I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a creative. And when you're an artist and when you're a creative, you have incredible highs and lows. I think that's just the mega makeup for an artist. I just think it's just kind of part of the deal. I think it just comes with it. And I think because of that, we're always encouraging ourselves, maybe not physically, but we're mentally reinventing ourselves, and we're trying to keep things moving. Because we're not the people that go to a 9-to-5 job every day and sit at a desk or do this every day. We're people who are looking to invoke change, invoke challenge, invoke conversation, invoke an idea. We're trying to introduce a new color into the world and all of that type of stuff. So when you're doing stuff like that, I consider it to be the yin and the yang of it all. It's the good and the bad. It's the indifferent. It's the good, bad, or indifferent. It's all of that. But I think you being a creative, I being a creative, and many others that will view this will see as being a creative. You're not alone when I say it's incredible highs and lows. But what I do believe, and what I know for sure, because this has happened into my life so many times, when something is meant for you, it happens with such ease. It's ridiculous. Getting the magazine, getting Whitney Houston as a client, Queen Latifah as a client, Angela Bassett as a client, Tyler Perry as a client, all these people that I've had as clients for many years and over the years, it just happened with ease. And I'm thinking, okay, sometimes that gift is that. But if you're working on something like, for instance, I've been pitching a TV show that is dope as can be about fashion for plus size, but nobody's bought it yet. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give up. I mean, at some point, somebody may go, oh, wow, that's cool. We got something here. But we have to keep trying. We have to keep moving. And it's just one of those things.
Mr. Snell, you have been nothing but inspirational today. My soul has got uplifted. My closet has got uplifted. Now all I need is for my cheekbones to stay lifted. And
Yeah.
we'll be a great day.
I'm with you. That's why I get those facials and those rolls put on and all that kind of stuff too, like to bring, which is another thing that a creator should do. Pamper oneself, because as a creator, we're total givers. You should always give back to yourself too. Don't forget that, because that will keep you high if you do that as well.
So then I'm booking myself a massage. Thank you for that permission.
Pamper away. I'm just excited that you wanted me to come on your show and talk. And I hope I've said something today that would inspire another creative to keep going, or inspire a someone who wants to be creative to give it a shot, and someone who's interested in knowing more about me. They can, follow me on Instagram at Timothy Snell, Timothy and DM me questions, DM me opportunities, DM me something, say hello. I mean, I'm here. I get a lot of DMs for women saying, is your show coming back? Is it, I'm watching, I just saw it, it's in reruns. Are you coming back? What's happening? What's going on? I get it all the time. And all I keep thinking to myself is, wow, there's a market out there that is in need of this. God, make an opportunity for me to come in and do what I do. But yeah, so I'm just excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I mean, do you want to ask me something else? You want to know? I mean, I'm an open book here.
Well, actually, we are not just overtime, we are beyond overtime.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said 17
I'm a
minutes.
talker. I'm a talker.
It's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for us over here, because you just told everyone where to find you. I didn't even have to ask. That was perfect, by the way. You can find everything that your ladies are doing at www.andithoughladies.com, and you can go down to the middle of the page, not the bottom of the page anymore, but the middle of the page, and you can see the charities that we proudly support. We ask that you take a little time and figure out if you can help them as well, and we thank you in advance for that. Remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the Missing Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.